Hi, my name is Jessica, and I have been in recovery since October 11th, 2022. I was born and raised near Baltimore, Maryland in 1994, and I'm the eldest of four children. I was born to my father, who worked as often as he could, and my mother, who was an undiagnosed alcoholic. But if you asked her, alcoholics have a problem, and drunks have fun, and she was a drunk. From a very young age, I don't remember much without a beer in the picture or my mom's famous rum swizzles that she made for her friends. It was always late, loud nights and hectic, unknown days. My dad made sure there was a keg full of beer behind the bar that they homemade in our basement. Even on school nights, mostly my mom, but my parents would be up way too late and leave the responsibility of making sure we made it to school on me, their eldest child. I would pack our lunches, make sure baths got done, homework, and even sometimes make dinner and clean up. My dad would come home around 6 every evening, and we would never really know where my mom would be at, if she was even conscious. There were times where I'd be getting off of the school bus and my mom would be passed out in the front yard with vomit all over her. I didn't bring friends over and I couldn't leave in fear that something would happen. I missed some school, but really, school was my escape from the reality of the alcoholism that I lived in. I found out later that this was trauma to me. At that time, this was just my normal life. I'm now in some trauma-based counseling, healing from what I hadn't known was the trauma. Even through substance use, I had a great family. We went on vacations to the beach in North Carolina every year where my family would get together and have drinks on the beach. It was one big party. One time my dad even put on my mom's bikini, and it was really funny. I had a lot of traumatic events happen throughout my parents' alcohol use. Some ruined friendships and some made friendships stronger that I hold dear 25 years later. Through the substance use, my parents were very good people, and they did the best with what they had and what they knew. My mom taught me a lot about baking, some recipes I still remember to this day as well. And my dad taught me how to be a great driver and to be safe, and I don't have any accidents on my record. I learned a lot about being resourceful from my parents, and I can make a fire starter out of crayons and dryer lint. And as I remember the things that I've experienced throughout my life, I do realize more and more trauma. In July 2010, my mother was diagnosed with breast cancer, and then in December, colon cancer. I had picked up a drink before then, but my drinking really took off after this. My mom poured me rum after rum while she cried and told me about her diagnosis. In 2011, my mom was cancer-free, but her and I loved to bond over the campfire and a drink, or 12. I graduated high school in 2012 and left as soon as I possibly could, getting myself into some unsafe situations trying to just be on my own. I found my own substance use, and being defiant, scared, depressed, and confused created myself a world of problems. I, unbeknownst to myself, was addicted to substances, which was on and off for the next 7 years. In this time, I had 3 children, got my own apartment, and my parents moved to Pennsylvania, about 5.5 hours away from me. My parents' substance use, mostly my mother's, has affected me greatly. I feel inadequate as a human and curious on where the love as a child I so desperately deserved was. I do have a great deal of self-esteem issues, and I did not know how to regulate my emotions. Through coping skills and therapy, I have improved my quality of life greatly, and with recovery. In 2019, I moved to Pennsylvania to help get my children's father and my boyfriend at the time of 8.5 years away from substances and to be closer to my parents. He also suffered with substance use disorder and kept it very well hidden for a very long time. Both him and I had multiple reoccurrences throughout the next several years. I had gotten myself into recovery in 2018 for a short period of time. In February of 2020, he assaulted me, and I was a victim of domestic violence. He went to jail, and I found illicit substances and also began to find recovery, but that led me to ask a whole bunch of questions. My mother believes that you can just be happy, so telling her that I was depressed and addicted to substances was a very big challenge. We stopped talking in 2020, and she wanted nothing to do with substance knowledge or recovery counseling. She continued to drink throughout this time. During this time, I also met who I didn't know at the time, but was going to end up becoming my biggest supporter and my best friend, Nicholas. During this time, Nicholas literally saved my life. He helped me through most of my substance use. He did not judge me. He was a person that was there for me no matter what at any time. I ended up going and spending a little bit of time incarcerated in the Venango County Prison, and then I spent a little bit of time with Cadenzia, which I highly recommend. I love them so much. I did a long-term inpatient program where I had completed successfully, and then I went to the halfway house program with Cadencia, and I had my fourth daughter. I was released from there and had a few more reoccurrences throughout this time. In 2024, my mother and I had reconnected. She was still drinking at that time. I had found out that she was sick, and our relationship was rocky at best and very seldom. At some point during the last 5 years, my mother was diagnosed with ALS, and unfortunately, Robin Braun lost her battle with ALS on February 11th, 2025. I have been affected greatly by the substance use in my immediate family. I currently am the only one that, in recovery loudly, I am the only one that acknowledges the problems my substance use has caused myself, my family, and my children. I have recently reconnected with my father, and that has brought up a lot of past feelings I haven't had to deal with yet in recovery, as well as trying to rebuild relationships with all of my siblings, which has not been done yet. Recovery is scary, but I'm grateful that I get to experience it, and I'm thankful that my parents gave me this experience to be able to help another person. As a young adult starting college, my goal was to help children of alcoholic parents. Since then, I've created myself some setbacks due to the resentments I hold for my family and my substance use. Since then, I have completed and became a certified recovery specialist and a certified family recovery specialist. And I have created some new goals, which are to help someone suffering with substance use disorder and their families, who can also be greatly affected by their loved ones and their substance use. I also advocate a lot with harm reduction and created a Facebook group for recovery and harm reduction. That's my family story. Thank you so much. My name is Jessica, and I'm in recovery.